Today is April 3rd. I cannot even believe that it's April. Maybe you feel the same way. I somehow was not ready for that. And it is the 12th day of Nisan, and maybe you're not ready for that either. Here we are inching towards Pesach, which is just amazing. So we're going to talk and learn a little bit about Pesach today in our practice, and explore as we have been doing and as we do every week. We're going to begin on quadruped, all fours. We'll do a little bit of warm-up together, and then I'll share a little bit of teaching. Then we'll continue our practice until quarter of the hour, and then we'll finish our practice and have about 15 minutes for questions, reflections, observations. So let's begin. Here we are on all fours, and if you like, you can place some padding under the knees. If all fours is not for you, I want to ask you to take this in the chair, and you can do most of it seated, and I'll try to show that as we go too. So all fours, try to take the weight out of the wrists. Just try to draw up out of the wrists. The wrists are directly under the shoulders. You can also stand on your fists. Might be easier. And the knees are directly below the hips. We're going to begin with a little bit of cat and cow, arching and curling. Just beginning to connect breath to movement. So as we inhale, letting the belly drop, the tailbone lift, the collarbones widen, and maybe the gaze comes forward. And as we exhale, curling, doming the mid-back, dropping tailbone and crown, making a C curve, navel to spine. And then inhale and begin to lengthen vertebra by vertebra, evenly arching the spine. And exhale, evenly curling the spine. Take this in your own time. You may wish to go a little slower or a little more briskly than I'm going. Syncing your own breath with your own movement. Fully inhaling and fully exhaling. And imagining giving some space to those intervertebral discs. So important, giving some nourishment. The health of the spine is the health of the entire system. And if you're seated in the chair, feeling the movement from the front of the sitting bones to the back of the sitting bones as you arch and curl. And then pause in neutral. You might sit back here and just stretch the wrists for a minute, maybe some circles or drawing the palm down, just taking a moment. Or child pose if you like. Just taking a little breather. And then we're going to move into threading the needle. So for those of you in the chair, it means simply taking the arm across the body and holding with the other arm to give a stretch to the shoulder. And then once you do that, you could also just take a little twist side to side. If you're on all fours, it's going to look like this. Inhaling the right arm out to the side, and then exhaling, thread behind the left. Right palm is facing up, come down to the shoulder, rest on the side of the head. You can tent the left fingertips, press into them and work that twist a little bit. Or if you'd like, you can take the left arm toward the ceiling, spreading the fingers, facing the palm forward. Just seeing what works for you. Feeling sensation arise. Anything that's there in the neck, tops of the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. Just breathing into that. Releasing by unraveling, coming back to center and taking the other side. Inhale the left arm out to the left, and then exhale, thread it through. Tenting the right fingertips and pressing into them, spinning the rib cage around if that's available to you. Starting to spin a little bit. Just be here, meeting yourself today, meeting the parts perhaps that are stale or stuck. That tends to happen right away in this pose. Just giving a sense of what's a little, whatever that sound translates for you, and then unraveling from here. And we're going to sit it back to child pose. If you're in the chair, widen your knees, fold forward. You can take forearms to the thighs, or you can take the hands down toward the floor. So a little bit of a fold at the hips is what we're looking for. Please modify if this is unfriendly for your knees or for your hips. Always make the poses work for you. You're not here to be enslaved to the poses, especially since we're talking right now about freedom from enslavement on the Pesach holiday. And then come on up one more time. If you're at the chair, you're going to want to stand behind it. This is a balance exercise. If you're on all fours, bring the knees together to meet at center. Send the right arm forward and the left leg back. Draw the navel toward the spine, balancing, and feel long spine, tailbone to crown, and even more, one long line, left heel to right fingertips, and then lower. Pause, and then change. Right arm, right leg, left arm. Flexing through the foot, toes pointing down, spreading through the fingers. Draw the navel to the spine. Maybe some heat builds. Lift from the root of the thigh. And then come down. We'll do each side one more time. Switch. Breathe here, but as you breathe, corset those ribs, draw the navel in to support the low back. Send the heel back, really be bright in the sole of the foot, in the palm of the hand. See that the body's in one line. And then lower down. Just trying to build a little heat here, switching sides. Beautiful. And then come on down. And one more time, walk the fingers a little forward and turn the fingers out toward the edges of the mat. So the fingers a little bit turned out, the hands, the wrists, and then draw the tailbone back, drag it back, and take the forehead to bow to the mat. Just lengthening, opening the elbow joints, opening the armpits, drawing the outer shoulders down. If you're at the chair, hands at the top of the chair or the seat of the chair, and then walk the feet back, long spine, L shape. Kind of a downward dog preparation. See if you can imagine that you can breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. As you melt the back of the heart, the space between the shoulder blades, melt it down toward the floor. And come on up, have a comfortable seat, and I'll share a few words. So as I said, today is the 12th of Nisan. We are rolling right along. And we're coming upon a practice tomorrow night, right? Because Pesach begins Wednesday night, called Bidikat Chametz. checking for chametz, for leavened stuff. And that's our ritual of going around the house and clearing out any leavened stuff. We go with a feather and a candle in that ritual practice, and we sweep it up, and then we burn it. We burn it the morning of Wednesday morning, and make a blessing, and then we're ready for Pesach to begin, right? So we sell the chametz that's in our home. We do bedikat chametz, and then we do the burning biur chametz, and so we do this spiritually as well. Yes, we want to welcome in spring, Chag HaAviv, another name for Pesach. We want to open to celebrate renewal and new growth in our garden. Maybe you're in the process of clearing away debris and dead stuff and pruning plants so that they can grow and become better and stronger. We want to do that spiritually as well. And as with chametz, we want to clear away what is stale, what is emotionally stale, what is puffed up within us, whether that's the ego is growing too big or distorted. We want to clear that away. We want to clear away maybe old habit patterns, as we do in our physical practice of yoga, right? Working on changing our patterning to make room for new habits, more useful habits that are more wholesome for us. So Rabbi Arthur Waskow calls this kind of chametz the swollen sourness in our lives, the swollen sourness in our lives. We're here to clear it out. Some call chametz the yetzer hara, our unwholesome impulses, right? So just as the rabbis understood that chametz can be used to make bread rise, is the rising, it also has the potential to over ferment and spoil bread, right? So we can get kind of spiritually lax, over fermented. So the chametz is the baggage that we carry from things, or personal disappointments maybe that are weighing heavily on us at this time. Any heaviness, sluggishness that we want to remove. The refuse of daily living, if you will. Any residual stuff that's emerging from mistakes in judgment or any perceived moral failure. We want to use the light of Shekhinah, the light of awareness, Da'at, to burn through this kind of chametz. And so in the morning we recite a blessing, and it says, all leaven which is in my possession, which I've neither seen nor removed, and about which I'm unaware, shall be considered nullified and ownerless as the dust of the earth. Okay? So let's be hopefully rewarded, granted the wisdom to discern what is chametz in our own lives and what we can clear out. So in our practice today, we've been talking about offerings and sacrifices as we begin the book of Vayikra. And again, we're working on sort of burning away what we don't need. This sense, what is called in yoga as tapas, which comes from the Sanskrit word to burn, a discipline to come to the mat and kind of burn unuseful habit patterns, unuseful thought patterns away. So we're going to do a little more movement today, sun salute, and also, again, some attention to the center, the pilot light here. And lastly, I just want to remind you of the 4 names for Passover and ask, which name do you most identify with as we move into the holiday this year, right? So there's Chag HaPesach, the Pesach offering, the offering. Are you making a sacrifice or bringing an offering that you feel related to this year? There's Chag HaMatzot, the holiday of matzah, right? So I might call that paring down to what is essential, right? Going from bread that takes a long time to rise to matzah, which is 17 minutes, 18 minutes, I forget. Reducing the puffiness of your life, right? Reducing chametz in your life. Does that feel most important? Or is it Chag HaAviv, the holiday of spring? Are you feeling like moving from winter into spring and this kind of renewal and blossoming and opening to the sun is what you need from this holiday this year? Take taking off the dead wood and letting new blossoms come? Or is it Zman Cherutenu, the fourth name for Passover? Zman Cherutenu, the time of our freedom. Are you looking toward some kind of necessary freedom in your life? So before we stand and start to move in standing poses, I want to share a breath practice with us for burning off chametz. It's known in pranayama, in the breath exercises of yoga, as kapalabhati, or forced exhalations. So let me show you from the side. Now, what's important about this one is it's a forced exhalation and a passive inhalation, which really just bounces back. So if you take your hands to the belly, or the belly and dive like solar plexus, and we're going to exhale through the nose only, right? So it looks like this. And just watch how my hand springs back. I'm not doing anything. It just comes in. So try that a couple times really slowly. A forced exhalation through the nostrils, and then the inhalation that just rebounds. Good. So as you're getting the hang of it, you might wish to continue with me in rhythmic time, or you might just go really slowly for yourself. So you decide how you want to take it. In any case, tall spine. We're going to do a set of 25, a couple sets of 25. And you'll just follow me, and then I'll count down the last ones, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's start with a full inhalation and a full exhalation. And then inhale halfway and begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Complete the exhale. Inhale fully. And let the breath return to normal. The other thing I want to say about this practice is it's good to leave the eyes open. If you get particularly dizzy, you want to stop. And we'll take another set. So inhale fully. Exhale fully. Inhale halfway and begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Complete the exhale. Let the breath come back to normal. Now you might close your eyes and just notice any after effects. Do you notice anything in the breath? Any sensations on your skin or deeper? Any sensation in the belly, temperature, texture, or anywhere else in the body? Just notice. And then as you're ready, you can open the eyes. We'll come back and we're going to take a low lunge. So step the right foot forward. Again, if you want padding for the left knee, go for it. Bring the hands to the right thigh, press away, lengthen the tailbone, draw the low belly upwards and in. We want to protect the low back, and then we can let the hips sink forward a little. Bring up some sensation in the left quadriceps, hip flexor. And then from here, we're going to take a twist to the right. So I'm going to offer a few possibilities. You can inhale the right arm up and back. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Take your twist this way. And then continue to let the hips sink forward if that's available to you. Or you can cross the elbow over to the outside of the knee and take the palms together in prayer. Extend through the crown of the head, lengthen the spine as you twist. Or you might want to come in a little deeper, moving the armpit toward the outside of the knee. You might even take the hand down towards a block or towards the floor, top arm up if you wish. Or continue with prayer hands and let the hips sink. And if you'd like, you can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Just be wherever this pose calls you. Draw the belly in to help on the twist. And then as you're ready, release. And just come back to the lunge for a moment. And then draw the hips back in space. Bring the right toes up. Begin to straighten through the right leg, a little fold over, finding some sensation through the back of the right leg, the hamstrings. And then switch sides in any way that you would like. So that right knee is back, left foot is forward. So find the other side. And press away from the left thigh. Lengthen the tailbone. Might be very different on the second side, so check it out. Square the hips. Lengthen the tailbone. Lift the low belly in and up. Bring up some sensation. Whatever's appropriate for you through the right thigh. Might be very different. Pay attention. Let the hips drop forward to whatever extent is working for you. And then we'll move into the twist on this side. So again, you can do it upright, send that left arm back. Or you might want to take right elbow to the outside of the left knee and take prayer arms. Or you might want to scoot down even further towards the armpit. But wherever you are, you don't want to round the spine. You want to really lengthen the spine, open the heart. Maybe the gaze comes upward toward the ceiling, depending on what your upper shoulders and neck allow. Final breath or two, and then come back. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step it forward to meet the left. Take the legs wide, keep a bend on the knee. Just come to a ragdoll position. Head is either hanging or, if you prefer, forearms to thighs. Lengthen the crown of the head away. And then as you're ready, inhale, fill the pelvic basin. Exhale, let the tailbone be heavy as you roll up the spine vertebra by vertebra. Coming to stand. Okay, we'll take a little bit of sun salute action here. So placing the blocks or placing the chair, if you're going to be doing sun salute with the chair, come to the top of the mat. The feet together or hip width apart. Bring the palms together at your heart. Just find your even stance from left to right. See if you can just be right even through the center. And then we'll inhale the arms out and up overhead, gazing up, and exhale, dive forward over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back, and exhale, step the right foot back, knee down. Inhale, hook the thumbs and take the arms up, lift up. And exhale, sweep it down, step back, plank. Or knee down plank. Inhale here. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, child pose or downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. If you're in down dog, inhale, lift the right leg back and up. Exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. Inhale, hook the thumbs, maybe the opposite hook, and lift up. Drop the tailbone, lift the heart. And then exhale, sweep it forward, tuck the back toes, step it forward, fold. Inhale, roll it up or reverse the swan dive, coming all the way up, arms up. Exhale, come back to the heart. Breathe here. Pause, feel. Just feeling what needs to be released, whatever internal chametz needs to go. Let's make that the intention for this next round. Just letting it go, letting it out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, step the right foot back. Inhale, this time the arms up, high lunge or a knee down lunge. And exhale, open it out, warrior two. Turn the left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the arms around. Frame the left foot, step it back. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen. Baby cobra or fuller cobra. Exhale, child or downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet if you're in down dog. You can even come over the toes. Working through that foot and then letting the heels start to release. Lengthen through the Achilles tendons, through the calves. Inhale, right leg back and up. And exhale, step it forward between the hands. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. And exhale, open out, warrior two. Turn the right palm up. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, cartwheel around, step the left foot forward, fold it over. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bring it back to the heart. Take a couple of breaths to recalibrate. Release any unnecessary tensions. And renew this kavanah for whatever is overly leavened in the spirit. We can release it. And again, inhale the arms out and up. And exhale, dive it forward over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right foot back, knee down or up. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale, blossom it out, warrior two. Turn the left palm up, inhale, lift up. Exhale, cartwheel it around and step it back. Knees down or up. Inhale, lengthen, stay here. And exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Widen the collarbones. Exhale, draw the tailbone back. Child, downward facing dog, wherever you want to be. Pause here. This time, bend the knees a good amount and press into the hands. Draw the tailbone back, long spine. Find that long spine and then begin to send the heels, straighten through the legs. Inhale, right leg back and up. And exhale, step it forward between the hands. Inhale, the arms up, high lunge. And exhale, open out, warrior two. Turn the right palm up. Inhale, lift up, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel, step. Inhale, bringing it up. Arms up. Exhale, back to center. Pause here. Just be right here. Notice, observe, see what you feel. Any residual sensation, reverberation from the sun salute. And now, as you're ready, we're going to come to the floor. You might want to sit up on something. And we're going to take cross legs, either shin in front, just see whichever one lands. Take a block or a chair in front of you. First of all, roll side to side. You can move the flesh a little bit away so that you can really feel on top of the sitting bones here, central. Lift the spine, inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. And place the head on the chair or on the block. It can be on any level. That feels right. It's folding forward. So there can often be a lot of stuckness. Right? This idea of chametz as stuckness or puffed upness, inflammation. There can be a lot of stuckness in the hips. In the low back. In the inner lines of the leg, the groins, right? So just letting this pose melt away any muscular, any fascial holdings. Burn it away. And breathe here. Finding some more freedom, zman cherutenu, some more freedom in the hips. Frees up the whole body for movement, as well as emotionally. So much can be held there. When you're ready, just come on up gently, change the cross of the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come forward once again. It's nice if you can support the head, support the forehead. If you happen not to have a block near you, another thing you can do is simply bend the elbows and place the forehead in the palms of the hands. And then as you're ready, press into the hands. Come on up. And we'll take the legs wide. So again, you might want to be seated up on something. That's helpful for getting some lift to the low back. If you'd like, you can place something under each knee, maybe a rolled blanket or a block even. Take the fingertops behind you, draw the elbows toward each other, lift the whole torso, lift the chest, drop the shoulder blades down the back. So you might just stay here. Or if you wish, you can start to walk the hands forward, bring the torso forward. And again, you might create a way to rest the head. And you want to come to your edge, a place where you feel some sensation, but not too much. No strain, no pain. Notice, where's your mind? Bring it back to breath and sensation. Breath and sensation. As you're ready, come on up. Then we're going to take the legs forward into kind of just an easy forward fold. And you might take the legs a little wide and place blocks between. Normally we come forward with a long spine, and if you have any disc bulging or have had herniation issues, you may want to keep with that straight spine. If it's comfortable for you, however, you can round the spine a little. Just place the head down. Rest the hands wherever is comfortable. Just letting it be an easy, more passive forward fold. Let the breath quiet, a slow, smooth, easy breath. So this position is like the bud on the tree. Tight, full of potential. Tight in the sense of compact is what I mean. And then moving towards blossoming, lifting up. Bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet. Take the hands behind you with the fingertips pointing forward. And from here, inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips. You can take the head back if you like, or you can just keep the head slightly tucked with the chin. Feeling this sense of a bit of blossoming. And then bring your bottom down for a moment. Pause. And once again, coming up. And then coming on down. And we're going to take boat pose. So leaning the torso back a little, keeping the spine long. Lift the feet off the floor, extend the arms, start to build a little heat in the middle. So you can keep the feet on the floor or just the toes to the floor, or you can lift up. Or if you want a little more from this, extend the legs, point the toes. Open the heart. Come down and pause. Give the shins a hug. We'll take it one more time. See where you want to be with this boat pose. And then if you'd like, once again, to add a little bit of Kapalabhati, forced exhalations here in boat pose, you can go ahead and do that. And come on up. And then soles of the feet to the floor, take them a little bit out from the knees. We're going to roll it down using abdominal control here. So extending the fingertips forward, start to roll to the back of the sitting bones, draw the navel to the spine, and then vertebra by vertebra, slowly bringing yourself down. You can pause and hold in spots if you'd like. And then once you've come all the way down, lengthen the arms up overhead if it's available to you. Lengthen the legs long. Stretch it out nice and long. Hug the knees in. And take any last movements. It might be a rocking side to side. It might be windshield wipers. It might be a full twist. Or happy baby. Just explore for a moment. And then fully come to rest. Let the palms face up. Allow the eyes to close. Let everything go. begin to deepen the breath. And as you're ready, slowly wake it up, wiggle the fingers and the toes. And make your way up to a comfortable seat. And as we close our practice today, and as we move from winter to spring, officially, and into this Pesach holiday, just noting which name rings truest for you in this celebration in a personal way this year. Is it Chag HaPesach? Do you have an offering, particular offering to bring? Is it Chag HaMatzot? Are you interested in dispelling the chametz of your life, coming down to the essential? Is it Chag HaAviv? Are you interested in blossoming and opening? Is it Zman Cherutenu? Is it the investigation of freedom? Leaving Mitzrayim, leaving narrowness and restriction. Take a final deep breath or two. And then as you're ready, allowing the eyes to open. Shavua Tov, Chag Sameach. Thank you for practicing. Hope you'll stay for Q&A. Mostly Chag Sameach to you, to all your loved ones. And thank you for practicing in this community. As always, you can make a donation to IJS in any amount if this practices or other offerings have been meaningful to you. Helps us to keep our practices going. And also, I'll share with you my personal email if you want to get on my mailing list. I teach a class on Sundays as well, a 90-minute class, which is a sliding scale paid class. And I'll put my email into the chat for anyone who'd like to be on that list. You can email me. Shammash, my first initial, Elizabeth, and my last name Shammash, Shammash@gmail.com. So, if you have a question, please, you can place it in the chat. You can use the hand raising function. And the question is how did this teaching, how does the approach of Pesach, how does this Torah sit for you in your own experience? And how was practice for you today? Julie.
Hi, Lizzie. That was wonderful. First, I want to just tell you how much I appreciate your pacing and your alternatives. I mean, it just really gives space and it works really well.
Wonderful.
I want to learn more about that breathing technique. My experience was I was worried that I wasn't inhaling enough, by not, I was feeling a little short of breath.
As you were doing it, you were feeling short of breath. So I think the best thing to do, Julie, then is to slow it down, because then you can get a full breath. Now, just thinking for a sec. So it's really tension and release, right? Like Mitzrayim freedom. There's a tensing of the intercostals. Ooh, I lost where you were. That's so funny how the squares move. Okay, now I see you again. A contraction. And then you really have to kind of let the belly go and let everything open. So it could be that there's some tightness, or like the mind concern, anxiety, right, is sort of in the way. You have to kind of give everything to push out from here, and then you have to soften and relax and let open. So I would master that, work on that before you then start building speed. So for me, it bounces back quite naturally and easily, but I think that's the first place you have to explore. Does that make sense? So then work on that to see, is a full breath coming in? And try to zone in on what's holding it back.
And is it important to not consciously inhale or just allow it to happen and not help it along?
You may find that works for you to help it along. It makes me a little bit dizzy to consciously inhale. Also, there's a different breath. Kapalabhati is one thing. It's a forced exhalation. There's another breath called Bhastrika, which is also known in English as bellows breath. Kapalabhati, you might hear it as breath of fire. Bhastrika is bellows breath, and it is both a forced exhalation and inhalation. Like when you have a bellows for a fire, that's a different breath. And Kapalabhati is like this, and Bhastrika is like this. So they're a bit different. So there's distinguishing. For those who are more heady and interested in the practice as ideas, there are some good books on pranayama just alone. Iyengar has Light on Pranayama. That would be the big tome. This one's an interesting one, Science of Breath. If you're interested, Science of Breath, A Practical Guide, Swami Rama, Rudolph Ballantine, and Alan Himes. And it has a lot about respiration and, breath and awareness. That's, if you want to geek out a little bit, it's always fun. So I hope that's helpful. Give it some exploration. Will this session be posted to the archives, Laura? Yes, they're all posted. For better and worse, they're all up there. Susan Benson, hi. Here, let's see, ask to unmute.
Hi. Thank you for a wonderful class. I really enjoyed it. This is my second class that I took with this organization.
Welcome, Susan.
Turned me on to it. And it's interesting. I wanted to make a point of the breathing. For me, the breathing was exceptionally wonderful. I have an issue that I hear my heart. I mean, it sometimes interferes with me relaxing. It's the sound of my heart. Wow. And this breathing cleared that up immediately.
Wow.
Now, I didn't know if I was doing it right, but I didn't care. I just did my version of it. And I think in your explanation, it was right. But I just wanted to share that with you. It was very valuable because the deep breathing doesn't make that sound of my heart beating less. And I've done research on it. It's related to digestion. Wow. Because the vagus nerve is close to that area. And it's not a heart problem. I've looked into that. But so thank you for the breathing.
Wow, that's an amazing reflection and sharing, Susan. Thank you. What an interesting collage of sensation and sound you have. I agree with you. It doesn't matter if you're doing it right, off the bat. If it feels good, I think that's a good indicator that something is working for you. You can continue to refine it.
And that's an indicator of everything. If my body doesn't do what other bodies. When I was a child and I took acrobatics at 4 years old, the instructor said, this is not the right activity for your daughter, told my mother. And I'm not flexible. And then I've had some fractures in my pelvises. So I just do what I can.
That's
and
great.
It works wonderfully. And I give that advice to anybody. It doesn't have to be exactly like your body.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I give that same advice, right? It should work for you, and then we go from there. This is really an internal practice of finding our own personal freedom. Yeah.
Right.
Good. I think
Thank
we
you.
have time for one more. Irina Rosenblum.
Hi, sorry, I'm gonna go on video in a second. I am wondering if you could explain, I'm really bad with Sanskrit, so I don't remember the names of the two types of breath that you just talked about. I practice the second one, the one that's like the bellows, and I'm wondering if you can just say a couple of words about the health benefits of these two different breaths. They're different, right?
They are different. They're kind of in the same category. Somebody, one of our students DM'd me to ask about what breath is best for anxiety. And the answer is not that one.
Right.
So Kapalabhati and Bhastrika are in the category of sympathetic nervous system. Like if they replace an afternoon cup of coffee, for instance.
Yeah.
They'll get your energy back up. For anyone who's in a Wim Hof devotee, as I am, if you do any of the cold baths or the breathing that Wim Hof does is essentially Bhastrika, the bellows.
Okay, yeah.
Right? That's for getting your energy up, getting your heart rate up, learning to teach the body to handle stressors. They're similar. I feel like Kapalabhati has the simply exhalation that we did. Really like provides a certain tone. Like the tone I feel in my abdomen is just a little different for each one. I really feel the tone on Kapalabhati like right here. And with Bhastrika, I feel the tone to my intercostals because the rib cage is really going. That's not happening with Kapalabhati. So Bhastrika is truly a bellows of it's the ribs. So I feel it a lot in my intercostals, and Kapalabhati is like a more contained.
Okay.
Much more compression sort of right in the middle.
I think I was
That's how I feel it.
Bhastrika as a way to build up my immune system. And like I practice it through the winter and I feel like it really works. It helps me to not get sick. So I was curious about how Kapalabhati works with that. And also like I always focus, it's so interesting what you just said, because I focus on my abdomen, right? And the movement that you showed, I don't really even think about what's happening in my rib cage.
Yeah, start to think about that. I mean, I think both of those, yes, are good for building the immune system. But I would say, I really think there is a caveat to it, which is if you're someone who's working with anxiety, I would be very, very sparing with those breath practices. I would work more with alternate nostril breathing, with the things they call box breathing, like inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4.
Yeah. Okay.
As always, like see how it works for you. Thank you, Irina. Great. We'll take one more. Deborah.
You answered everything just now.
I answered it. Okay, awesome. That's great.
But the alternate breathing, you breathe in and then you breathe out and you change your finger right on the breathing out. You let it out, exhale.
Yeah. So in and then change. Oh, so there are different ways to do it. So you can do one nostril, other nostril. That's a little more rare. Mostly it's a circular thing. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, switch. So it's like out, in, switch, out, in, switch.
Yeah, that's the way I do it. Out in.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
There's more about if you want to get more refined with it. There's actually research that tells us that different times a day and different cycles, we favor one nostril over the other. And I think they're like correlated with like parts, right brain, left brain. And you can sort of build one side more up differently. Like when you do Kapalabhati, you sort of notice one nostril seems more open and free than the other. The basic practice, in, out, in, out.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. Hag Sameach. We'll see you next Monday. You're on.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. We're not on next Monday. IJS takes a break for the whole Pesach holiday. So that goes for us. That goes for the sit. See you in 2 weeks. Everybody, Chag Sameach, Aziz and Pesach. Have a really beautiful holiday. Beautiful holiday.
You too, Lizzie.